I brought this particular video to you guys, this type of videos to be precise. A lot of you guys requested for more of this kind of video. Guys, this guy actually dropped a bombshell. If you're not following this guy on TikTok, please, you are wrong, because this guy is actually doing a good work, especially for the Black Americans community. Watch this video from beginning to the end before you drop comments. See, if you don't find any value in this video, do not even subscribe to my channel. Welcome back again to my channel. My name is Sonia. Subscribe, like, comment, and share. This is just for educational purpose, and credit belongs to the original creators of every clips and stitches used in today's episode. Now, with that being said, let's go into this video. Let me roll out the clips for you guys, okay? And then you guys will definitely thank me for this. Let's go, guys.
You think ICE went rogue? No, ICE is the United States. ICE is the format. Every disaster this country has ever faced, it doesn't heal. It just built another arm of control, and ICE is the most recent mass. Let's look at 1927. Mississippi drowned, 700,000 displaced. Refugees weren't even citizens anymore. They were fenced, sorted, segregated, and guarded with rifles. Relief spelled as surveillance. Let's look at 1930s. The Dust Bowl hits, right? 2 million starving off the plains. But guess what California does? They roadblock the entire border, stopping Americans at state lines. Migrant families were branded as criminals, and strikes were broken by the guard. Hunger renamed invasion. Let's even go 10 more years. Let's do 10 more years. World War II. Internment camps, whole populations vanished behind barbed wire. The lesson was super clear. The lesson was extremely obvious. Collapse a group, call them a suspect, and then manage them like cargo. The Cold War only did it again. Refugees equals insurgent. Every crossing was reframed as a security threat. Immigration bureaucracy was just militarized. That's all it was. That's all it was. Movement was mapped like a battlefield. And guess where did it appear next? Guess where did it appear next? Katrina. Black New Orleans, right? They were displaced immediately, not relief, just sheer repression, shoot to kill orders. Blackwater contracts in the streets. Survival strictly criminalized. And then Homeland Security arrives. Do you see how often this happens? I stamped on the door. And he wasn't born in 2003. It was the old fraud wearing a new name, because the government does not solve collapse. That is not what it's here to do. It feeds on collapse. Every storm, every flood, every blackout, every drought, whatever you want. It's just an opportunity to invent another agency, to expand another police budget, to hand another contract to corporations. Relief becomes control. Security becomes profit. Displacement becomes a crime. That's the operating system. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I really am. That's the United States. ICE is not a glitch. ICE is not a glitch. I'm tired of people acting like this is not what Democrats want. It's the update. That's what it is. So don't say ICE went too far. Say this. ICE is exactly how America works. Exactly. It's exactly how it works. A disaster happens, a new mass forms, and the fraud continues. That's exactly how it works. This shit is not something new. It happens over and over with every agency. Actually, that's the format I want you to think in. So any disaster, you could track that immediately to a control apparatus. And I think that's what we need to spend time looking at. The spine of this thing. Right? Instead of bickering over what side we're on. Everybody's talking about Newsom this, AOC that, but no one's talking about the real problem, which is that the Democratic Party is a Republican graveyard, a holding chamber for abandoned Republican archetypes that are draped in old Democratic costumes to keep turnout alive. That's the real problem. It just survives by absorbing whatever pieces of the GOP that get cast off during realignments, while pretending it's still party of the people. That's all it does. You know how many times they've done this? Let's talk about the 1960s, right? The Northern liberal Republicans, the pro-business, the technocrats, the GOP was going full Southern strategy. And during this, right, the impact on the Democrats was that it became the new home for suburban whiteness. But the impact on Black America was way different. They might have gotten a new group, but Black people, we just got civil rights recognized, but reparations and deep equity traded away to comfort whites. That's what happened. Let's talk about the 80s, right? Okay, so the Rockefeller Republicans, the Wall Street financiers, the country club elites, like Newsom, right? They fled the GOP because they turned evangelical and populist, right? They were trying to get away from that. And the Democrats, Clinton had introduced third way, right? His third way, right? That transformed the party into a vessel of corporate globalization. But in the midst of that, what happens to Black people? Welfare gutted, mass incarceration expanded, and poverty criminalized. Let's talk about the 2000s. I want you to stay focused. Right, the neoconservatives and globalists, like the NATO First people, the Wall Street neoliberals, right? They fled the Republican Party too because the Tea Party rejected global management. The Democrats carried empire, right? Drones, bailouts, with progressive branding. And what's interesting, right? The housing crash wiped out billions in Black wealth. No repair, and policing expanded despite hope. Do you get how this happens? Let's stay focused. 2016. The never Trump Republicans, Bush moderates, corporate elites, security state. They fled because they didn't really want to be a part of Trump's ethno-populism. But you need to understand that Biden's coalition was literally insane. It was progressives, black voters, with ex-Republican suburban elites. There was no way to get out of that. There was no way to get through this. And all that ended up happening was 2020 protest energy getting contained, redistribution was stalled, and police were re-entrenched as normalcy. I want you to actually see the bigger picture, right? Let's talk about Newsom directly. He's a 90s Republican. He's a 90s Republican. His law and order homelessness policies, poverty treated as blight. Do you understand? He governs just like Giuliani. Just like Giuliani. I think I'm saying his name right, but I know what I'm talking about. Just with California polish. Do you know what I'm talking about? AOC. She is a 1900s progressive Republican in blue. Do you not understand? She just uses the wider diversity window to reenact Teddy Roosevelt-style reformism, right? Anti-monopoly, anti-corruption, save the republic rhetoric. You got to understand, reformist is not revolutionary. It's not. Let's talk about Jasmine Crockett. She's another popular one. But her law and order, she just has that law and order Republican archetype in blue. Her firebrand courtroom style, speaking is just mirroring the GOP's tough-talking women of the 80s and 90s. Simply redirected. Even the new blood in the Democratic Party is a Republican archetype in new colors. I want you to understand the pattern is consistent. Every ghost that they absorb comes at our expense. Stability for white moderates, containment for black communities, symbolic inclusion without reparations. I want you to understand the core is fucking empty. The labor wing is decimated. The civil rights wing is managed into symbolism. The social wing cut into scraps. What remains of the Democratic Party is probably a fourth. The rest is Republican inheritance animating its corpse like a zombie stepping in Thriller. You got to understand the reality of the political situation today. The GOP is authoritarian and ethno-populist. It's true. The Democrats are just abandoned republicanism in blue. Both sides are just Republican DNA in different species. I want you to get this. This is so contentious for me. Democrats continue to pretend that they are in continuity with FDR and LBJ. This party is a Republican graveyard that is dressed in Democratic clothing. I want you to understand this. This party cannot survive on borrowed skeletons. Because if the Democrats are just Republicanism in blue, then a new party has to be born to carry the redistribution, the reparations, the labor revival, the real welfare. Otherwise, we will literally be left behind. We will forever remain ballast. I want you to understand, never beneficiaries. And if no new party emerges, I just want you to understand, the odds of Democratic voters getting what they want, single digits. Single digits. Redistribution, get blocked by Wall Street goals. Reparation, blocked by suburban ex-GOP goals. Welfare expansion, watered to scraps by corporate goals. All that is left of this party is symbolism. And you can't admit it. Managed decline. And the Republican policy is just Republican policy and a progressive logo. The Democratic Party is not the party of FDR, LBJ, or liberation. It is what I said, a Republican graveyard. And unless a new party is born, I mean it. Voters ain't never gonna get nothing but scraps. From the dead. That's what y'all gonna get. So, I'm just saying what it is. Your party's fake. It ain't nothing to it. I need people to understand that this is one of the biggest changes in our country's history. They renamed it. Not defense, war. And in that one word, they erased the boundary between foreign and domestic, civilian and combatant, peace and war. Every action now equals wartime. Every space, a war zone. You are already inside it. ICE becomes the strike arm, not just borders, neighborhoods. Raids, detentions, political policing. The guard becomes occupation, not Baghdad, Chicago, Portland, New Orleans. Your block is now under permanent control, and the War Department, that's the anchor. Command above all. Doctrine applied everywhere. And the state muscle isn't enough. Corporations build the spine. Lockheed, Raytheon, Palantir, Amazon, Google, all y'all investors, I'm telling you, you're funding this. All the weapons, cloud, grids, the war machine is outsourced and profit locked. Let's talk about it a little further, right? The private security firms, they are going to franchise ICE. They're going to franchise ICE. If you don't believe me, look at this. They're going to export the ICE raids abroad. Did you consider that? They're going to export the ICE raids abroad, and then export guard tactics abroad, and then export predictive policing abroad, because authoritarian partners eat it up, because orders taste like surveillance and control tastes like safety. I want you to think about the trial run. I'm going to show you this. This is what is called the totalized war apparatus. War fused into everything. Unending, civilian-centered, exportable, corporate-embedded, pattern-based, algorithm-based. I'm going to walk you through it, right? The trial run. Trial run. Venezuela strikes. The North Korean flashpoints, we get the little revelations about what happened there in 2019. Garner won U.S. city. The narrative is already shifting. The world is already at war. That's what they want you to think. Then the conversions, right? The semi-permanent guard deployments, right? Drone policing is normalized. Foreign standoffs escalate. Corporations scale the grid. The narrative is the same, though. War doesn't stop at the borders anymore, huh? When did that happen? When did war stop? At the border. Do you see what I mean? Then they're going to export it because the U.S. allies are going to adopt the model. Migrant caravans, protests, refugee camps are all going to get rebranded as combat zones, right? Because now at that point, the narrative will be completely different. War is civilization against chaos. War to them is civilization against chaos. Then by phase 4, they will be on the civilian war. That will be what is coming up. Everywhere will be a battlefield. Refugees will be targeted directly. Protesters will be directly correlated to terrorist auxiliaries. Corporations fuse with the government. If I'm not inside the system, you're part of the enemy pattern. I want you to understand. Then by the end, no more civilian war, just the pattern war. There is no such thing as the front line. There's no treaty to sign. The war will be waged against the ways of life themselves. You will hear of wars everywhere, but see them nowhere. Peace was never real. That's what they want you to understand. But peace was real. War, they want you to look at it like only war can keep order. War is not the way to keep order. No, it's not. And I want you to think about this deeper than this. The word civilian is a myth. In World War Zero, everyone is provisional. Everyone is suspect. Everyone is maybe combatant. Homes, borders, networks, cyberspace will all be collapsed into war terrain. I want you to understand. You don't resist this with bigger weapons. You can't. You resist this by refusing collapse. You must name what it erases. Your citizenship. That's what the totalized war apparatus erases. Break what it normalizes. ICE showing up in your neighborhoods. Break all that because it's important to understand that the predictive grids will be analyzing us directly. Ain't no getting offline that's gonna make that happen. They track you already. You turn on your location every time you go to Taco Bell. I'm just saying what it is. We need to export presence. We need to export grace. This will not be World War III. You've already heard it from me once. This will be World War Zero, the spinoff you never wanted. This is the war that erases the line between war and not war. This is the conflict that makes the whole world a battlefield before you even knew you were drafted. I just want you to understand. The totalized war apparatus is genuinely the biggest thing. The Department of War is the ultimate, will be the final antagonist of all of it. All of it. The military-industrial complex final form, we're seeing it load up. It's loading up. I'm just saying. And all these people acting lazy about it. And I got problems with everybody. Nobody's doing the right thing. Nobody's doing enough. Oh, all the people getting paid? Y'all not doing enough? What? Y'all taking money behind the door, but not locked in on trying to figure out genuine answers to the totalized war apparatus. And now people be like, oh, everybody's doing it. Everybody's trying their own thing. I understand that you're doing your own thing, but the information is not reaching the public. We are entering this disaster. It has escalated. We dead ass need more responsiveness from y'all. I'm not hearing it. So come with some reasonableness, right? Especially some answers, just publicly. I'm just speaking to y'all. I'm just saying that publicly. Especially if you're gonna speak on these issues, because they're in the future, there will be no difference between Chicago and Gaza. There will be no difference between Donbass and Portland. There will be no difference. I don't know how to say that clearer than this. I need you to get it. There will be nothing. There will be nothing like that. You've never seen anything like this before. That's why I called it World War Zero. It literally will be like the world broke out in conflict. That's what it'll be like. So I want you to take it seriously. I want you to pay attention to what's going on. Okay? Being a civilian in this is a myth. Not enough got to be one of the oldest tricks in the book, because not enough for what? Not enough for who? Not enough by whose starving mouth? Because they don't use that phrase to measure you. That's a misunderstanding. They use it to erase you. They stamp it on your chest so no one has to notice their emptiness. That's what not enough is about. Not enough is camouflage. It's their famine hidden in your skin. That's what not enough is about. That word is a mask. It hid their theft. That's what it's about. They really robbed you blind. They stole your fire and called it a shortage. They stole your victories and renamed it survival. They stole your breath and sold it back as debt, and you paid every time time you inhaled. You paid. I want you to understand. They didn't want anybody to see it, that not enough wasn't about you. It was about covering their hollow. Their hunger became your reflection. Their absence, your definition. I just want you to get this right now. So think about the other side, right? When somebody calls you not enough, when you accept that, there's one thing that you never ask. What dream did they bury with that word? What name did they erase when it was not enough? What part of you starved so their lie can stay hidden? Because not enough is not a verdict. Not enough is a cover-up. It's a disease dressed in your clothes. And the cruelest trick is that they convinced you to wear it out loud. That's the coldest part about it. Every time you tried, you proved them wrong. Trying was not weakness. It isn't. It isn't. It's not possible for you to be not enough. You're whole. You're whole. So it's not possible. It's not possible. You are made of fire. You are made of breath. You are made of life that they couldn't kill. So stop carrying the camouflage. Stop carrying that shit. Talking about just not enough. Just letting people talk to you like that. Stop repeating their lie. Name what they bury, drag it into light, and make them choke on their own hunger. That's the life you gotta live. It's true. It's true. So I just want you to stay focused on what on what it's really about. Not enough is a famine signal. That's what it is. It's a growling belly. That's all it is.
I hope you guys actually enjoyed those clips. I actually roll out for you guys because those are the few clips that I have. Let me know what you think in the comment section, because honestly, this guy is unfolding a whole lot that a lot of people are not even aware about. To be honest, I will still charge you to please go to his TikTok account and support him on his TikTok account. I am not aware if he actually have a YouTube channel, right? But I know that he has a TikTok account. Guys, a lot is happening, and it is better for you to be hearing this information so that at the end of the day, you can be able to be fully assured that at least the one way you hear, you can run with it. That is why I said, take a pause. Don't worry. Watch the video. Make sure you enjoy it before you go ahead to like, subscribe, and then share. And as at this point that you've watched, if you've not liked, subscribe, and share, please do well to do that. Do you like this type of content? Let me know as well in the comment section. I'll try my possible best to also root out more out for you guys, because a lot of people are like, who is this guy? When I posted out, if you've not watched the first one, like, you are even missing, honestly. The first one that I dropped, if you have not watched it, you're missing. Maybe I will just put the link of the first one in the description section so that you can check out the first one. Honestly, this guy is doing a good job. This guy deserves to be awarded. This guy's research is top notch. Like, if I can do research like this guy, like, you will not be seeing me on this page. Like, I'll be flying on TikTok. Do you guys get? But anyways, we know that Black have been through a lot. Black have seen a lot. Black have seen every single thing that they are supposed to see. Democrats, ICE agents, they have been able to even cancel a lot of things that is supposed to be given. But surely we believe that by the grace of God, every single thing is going to fall in place according to his due time, right? That is one thing we believe. And I just want to say this out here. As a Black American person that is watching, do not be discouraged. Yeah, do not be discouraged. Just keep being you. Just keep doing what you know how to do best. Just keep showing up. Just keep voicing out. And I believe that our voices will definitely be heard. Okay? Anyways, guys, let me not keep you guys here waiting. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like this video, drop me a comment, and lastly, do not forget to share. Like I said, if you like this type of content as well, let me know in the comment section. I'll try my possible best to root out more for you guys. Honestly, this research is not easy, but by the grace of God, we will still try our possible best to be rooting out. I love you guys, and I just want you to know that God loves you more. Don't be deceived. Don't think that a lot of Africans do not like you. If you think so, me, I do. Because why? Black people has really helped me. Black Americans have really helped me in my life. Till today, I can see the result of Black American in my parlor, right? Like in my sitting room. That is one thing you should know. So I love you guys from the depth of my heart. Anyways, with no further ado, I'm going to be saying bye, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Do not touch the die. Please, this is for educational purpose, not to come here to bash anyone. Credit belongs to original creators of every clips and stitches using at this episode. Bye for now. Mwah.